Hello, this is Dan again from Magic Pachinko Restorations. First of all, let me thank you very much for purchasing this 1973 Nisagen Model B. I'm going to show you how to load it and what to look for if it doesn't pay out. So right now we're obviously looking at the back of the machine. I want to point out a few things to you. Down here there's a latch. When you pull back on this, it releases the locks that would allow this unit to swing out. If you're going to leave it freestanding, obviously you wouldn't have to worry about that. You're just going to come around to the back of the machine. If you end up putting this into a cabinet, then you need to have access to this lever so that you can open the front door and get at the guts. On the opposite side here is another lever. This gets lifted up, and although you don't see anything happen from the back side, what it did is it allows the front frame to open up, and by pushing the front frame back, it locks it back up again. So those are the two releases, one here, one there. Another thing that's very important when you first get the machine, you want to make sure, and I'll get these wires out of the way, this mechanism right here is in the latched position. This is in the unlatched position. That's the latched position. Now actually what happens when it's in the latched position is, in just a minute we're going to put some balls in here. They're going to travel down, go through the turnaround, and go across this area into the jackpot area, and then they just sit. So in the unlikely event that you want to empty the machine, you're going, and I'll show you how you can do it from the front too, but you're going to release this, which then lets these arms swing out of the way, and the balls will, every ball that's on this side will drop through this tube and exit the machine. It's how you get all the balls out of the machine. You do have to get the balls out of the jackpot chamber, but I'll show you how to do that. But when you go to first set up the machine, make sure that during shipping this may have gotten jostled, that's over like that, or you'll end up having pachinko balls all over the place. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is plug in the unit. Again, this does not have to be plugged in to be playable. The only reason you plug it in is so that the lights work. So when I plug this in, you're going to notice that the switch needs to be adjusted just a little bit. There, okay. Leaf switches are a little finicky, and again, during shipping you may have to play with that a little bit. But if you notice this platform here, when it tips down like that, it activates that switch and turns this light on. So that says, hey, there are no balls in the hopper. Now, as I put balls in the hopper, the weight of the balls is going to push this down, and it will turn that light off. Okay, so now that entire route from here to here is full. It's actually a double row, and the weight is pushing this down, which is relieving this. So this light is not on right now, so that lets you know. So if you're playing and you do see the light come on, it's saying, hey, I don't have enough balls up here, you need to put some in. Okay. So now the machine is pretty much ready to go. There's one more thing that we'll check, and that is what's called the seesaw chamber. This area right in here is called the seesaw chamber. This white piece of plastic is the seesaw, and right now, much exaggerated, it's on an angle like this. It will receive a winning ball. The weight of the ball will tip it down, again, very, very exaggerated, and let the ball continue on its way down through this path. and then the seesaw will reset itself. So you want to have the seesaw in this position to start, and this little plunger right here will push up on that seesaw and get it in the position that it wants to be in. If you also notice, there's kind of a weird shaped piece of brass in there that's hooked on to a plastic post. So that's the starting position. There is a screw here and a screw here. This cover would come right off if you ever had to go in there and unjam anything, but most of the time you don't have to take the covers off to clear a jam. So that's the seesaw chamber. This is the jackpot chamber, and I'll call this, for lack of a better term, because it looks like a paper clip. This little piece of metal here looks like a paper clip. Now there's a couple of potential areas where a ball can get stuck, and this is one of the areas right here. So if you and I ever were talking about this and I said look to the paper clip, you would know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the balls in the hopper run down, go around, come across, 7 balls on each side of the jackpot chamber. When a winning ball comes in, it hits the seesaw tips and lets that winning ball continue, and it exits the machine out here. In the meantime, this opens up, 14 balls drop onto this platform. The weight will drop them down. They run down along here, they hit the bell and go out the front of the machine. Okay, so you want to have your catch box here so that it would catch the single winning ball, and every losing ball will drop out here. So this is about where you want your catch box to be positioned. All right, I'm just going to grab a handful of balls because I'll do this. Okay, now let me swing it this way. Okay, so now we're going to actually play the machine. Okay. Oop, wrong way. Take it back up a bit. Okay, that's good. So we want a handful of balls to start with. And yeah, you'll get used to chasing pachinko balls all over the place. So they will go in the top tray and run down in. They will go down in. You can actually see them go down into this area. They go down in and they queue up. Now, the first time that you try to launch a ball, nothing will happen because it takes one cycle to get the ball into the launch chamber. So you're going to push down and let go. And now a ball has gone. You can actually see them move. And now a ball is ready to launch. So again, it's just a matter of pushing down and letting it spring off your thumb, and a ball is launched. Now again, that ball drops out of the machine into the catch box. Now there's no skill here, but there is some technique, and you'll get to understand the launching, the technique of launching the balls. You can get a lot of pressure there. It'll go all the way over and hit the bumper, or you just not quite as much pressure and they don't fly as far. I've tried to tweak the nails so that we get some winning combinations. So that's your 14 ball prize. So now these are open. It makes it much more easy to win. If you end up putting balls in any of the center attraction, it will automatically open these tulips. So let's see if we can get it to go again. There it goes. Unfortunately, I closed them now, so again, it's a little tougher. So if you remember, I told you about the release over here. By lifting up, it opens this. I've tweaked the nails and played this enough so that you really should never see a ball get hung up between two nails. I may have missed one. It's no big deal. You can actually push on them and bend them a little bit if you had to. But if one were say to get, just get stuck between these two nails, usually what'll happen is you can just push on the plexiglass and it'll go. If not, then you can open this and just physically remove the offending ball. If this tray starts to get too full, you're going to pull back here. It lets balls down into the lower tray. You just scoop them up and go right up over the top of the machine and drop them into the hopper. Okay, so that's pretty much the way it all gets set up. We got another. Oh, we're going kind of long, but this if a ball gets stuck in here, by lifting up on this, it'll clear it out. Remember to make sure that this is in the up position before you start, and you really shouldn't have any trouble. But I'm only a phone call away, so you can always call me at 585-760-9104 anytime. Thanks.